Games are addicting, or at least most of the best ones are. Whether we find ourselves enthralled by an immersive world or swept up in mechanics that make our brain click, it's hard to put down a game that gets you. When a game gets you too well, though, and more importantly, when a game's company knows you too well, things can get insidious. The last 2 decades have seen a steady rise in monetization of digital assets within games, with many being locked behind systems that rely on random number generation. The most popular format for this is loot boxes, a transactional system where the player pays for a chance at receiving items of varying quality. In most games using this tactic, the odds of receiving the items marketed as high-end are low, and you can receive frequent repeats, making for an annoying time when you only wanted one thing. Games will often supplement this with the ability to buy and pay with in-game currency to sidestep loot boxes entirely and purchase items outright, but other games are not so forgiving. Counter-Strike, for example, is a highly popular competitive first-person shooter published and maintained by Steam. The game features a case system that works like any other loot box, except worse. The items you can receive or trade in Counter-Strike are directly linked to the Steam marketplace, being valued and traded with real money. While most of the common case drops are worth pennies, if you do win, you win big. Nothing could stop you. You just paid $6 and pulled a $20,000 knife, baby. You are going places. You are changing your ways. But what if I go to this third-party CSGO skin gambling site instead of selling it outright and make even more money? And herein lies the problem. Most of us don't fall down this hole, but the ones that do tend to fall hard. A study tracked millions of in-game transactions on mobile games and found that loot boxes generate 96% of in-game revenue, with 90% of that revenue being paid out by a little over 1% of players. For those of us that don't have our calculators out, that basically means about 1% of the player base was funding the entire app. More research in the UK found that teens and young adults who bought loot boxes were over 11 times more likely to show signs of problem gambling, and even when you control for age and impulsivity, they were still about 4 times more likely. Monetized RNG systems in games are able to achieve this by exploiting the same reward centers in our brain that casinos typically target. That dopamine rush of potential for unexpected windfall, the idea that you're just a few more gambles away from cheating life, become the strings by which you are puppeted.